Okay, as we enter a whole new day in trade, let's take a look at the US handover from last night. Now, yesterday, Wall Street had a modest rebound, one could call it that, on the back of improving GDP data as well as better than expected jobless claims data, right? So this actually sparked the reversal in equities that we've been looking for all week. The Dow finally rose 150 points, or 100 points, excuse me, to post its first positive day in 5, and it's Friday today. The S&P rose 1.2% to break a 3-day losing streak, and then the Nasdaq Composite climbed 1.6% as well. However, what happened post-market in extended hours is Apple earnings came out, and they were definitely a miss. Below analyst expectations. That saw Apple stock sliding 4%. We then saw Amazon as well sliding despite delivering a blowout quarter. So that sparked a bit of reversal in the futures for this morning, and what we're now seeing is Dow futures down around 200 points, S&P futures down 0.7%, even Nasdaq 100 futures are down over 1% because obviously Apple and Amazon are both falling, right? So that's impacting the benchmark indices. Then, particularly, like I said, Apple has fallen 4% post-week numbers, and Amazon is currently down 1.5%. So that's how the US handover was. Asia is also in the red this morning. The Nikkei is down 0.36%. The Topix is down 0.74%. Now, this is despite the fact that Japan's industrial output has risen 4% in September from the previous month. So month on month, we're up 4%, but the market doesn't seem to be caring right now. In South Korea, the Kospi is dipped 0.41%, so Korea looking weak. The only region bucking the trend, surprisingly, is in Australia this morning, with the S&P ASX 200 up around 0.3%. So Asia mixed, US weak. Let's take a look at Europe. The Stoxx 600 closed down by nearly 0.2% yesterday. Travel and leisure stocks bucked the downward trend to add 2.4%. So that's surprising. Despite lockdowns in Europe, travel and leisure stocks are doing well. Media stocks, on the other hand, fell 1% to lead your losses. And then most of your sectors and major bourses yesterday in Europe ended the day in negative territory. Now, two commodities, oil and gold. Brent and WTI both are no longer defending $40. We've slipped well below there. Brent is now 4% lower as of last night at $37.65 per barrel. US WTI crude futures fell 3.26% to settle at $36.17 per barrel. So these are the lowest prices we've seen in the last couple months. Gold, spot gold was 0.4% lower at $1,869 per ounce. US gold futures slipped 0.6% to settle at $1,868 per ounce. So if you look at this action leading up to the election, maybe we're in for a double dip, which Stephen Roach, who's going to be talking to ET Now later today, said is when the economy post a recession recovers and then slips back into recession. Right now, all our benchmarks have been losing for a week. Oil prices have been crashing. Precious metals have been losing ground. So it looks like as the race for the election heats up, in the absence of any concrete stimulus, all these asset prices are starting to cave in.